I started my film experience when I was about 12 or 13 years old at Ramnord. That's probably, in a funny, very deep way, sort of excited me to get into it later in life. Ramnord Laboratories was a fascinating place for me. Well, I think I might have mentioned that I would gravitate toward the special effects department and, watch these guys putting together stuff. And they taught me how to splice film and do, how to scrape it off, the glue to use, the splicer, the whole works. And this is all, in a way, going to be something for me in the future. Because when I made my own feature film about the boy and the crocodile, I ended up doing a rough edit of the entire film and working late into the night. In fact, I'd work sometimes at 2 or 3 in the morning, editing those bits together and looking at it on a movie scope, just on a little screen in front of me. So I had an entire rough cut before I sent it to Prasad Laboratories, which was the big lab in Madras, to put it all together. My girlfriend Linda and I were already producing little articles about reptiles. Interestingly, the newspaper we were writing for in Bombay was called the Indian Monitor, and I looked it up and I can't find it. It just disappeared. But we were also writing for the newspaper as well, so various newspapers. And I started writing for the Illustrated Weekly of India. I put a couple of articles with color photographs. I think one was called To Catch a King Cobra, and I wrote it as though I was telling the story to my mother, to Doris Chattopadhyay. And it was about how I caught my first king cobras and stuff like that. There's some pretty dramatic pictures and stuff. Filmmaking came quite a bit later. In 1985, I teamed up with a couple of friends from Kodai school, John and Louise Reber, who had already started making films. They specialized in something called docudramas. And basically, they were doing it for various non-government organizations. And they worked in Bangladesh for a while. And I said, why don't we do a film talking about snake bite, how to avoid getting bitten and what to do if you're bitten. And they went for that idea. They thought it was a great idea. So we produced this film called Snakebite. And again, it was using a wind-up Bolex camera with little 100-foot rolls of 16mm film. And, a very crude setup. But we had some good ideas, and we had the Irlas to help us. And the film ended up winning a first prize in Missoula Film Festival in the United States. It got a gold medal from the British Medical Association. And interestingly, it was partly funded by Serum Institute of India. And I met Cyrus Poonawalla not too long ago, a few years ago. And I went to his office, and on the wall, he's got this plaque from the British Medical Association. So he got the award being one of the sponsors of the film. And he was incredible that amongst all his other junk on the wall, that he still had this thing that from the British Medical Association. Yeah, so that was a start. And that impressed me, that we could actually, put together a film, because these are the guys who knew how to make a film. I was very much a novice. And by that time, Shekhar Dattatri was also very much interested in filmmaking, and he worked with us on this film. And then we started saying, well, why don't we form a company, which we did, called Ecomedia. And we started making films about the Irlas, hunter-gatherers in the space age, I think we called it. Then we made a film about planting forest trees for SIDA, the Swedish International Development Agency. And each one of these films got first prizes in the film festival in Delhi. So we got all these certificates saying, and that, they were pretty crude films. And you look at them now and say, But at the same time, the credit that we were getting for them and the subjects we were choosing were good. And we were, reaching people with them. Each film that we made, we reached millions of people either by television or by distributing them. And to me, this is the way to go. I mean, this is the way to educate people. Snake Park was great, 1 million people coming there, but you can reach more than 1 million people in just one showing on television. So, hey, this is the way to go. So that was the beginning of the whole filmmaking thing.